Another round of applause for our national chairman, please. We now call on the next panelist, the Director of Policy and Strategy, the former Governor of Ekiti State, who is waiting to reclaim his mandate, God willing, Dr. Kayode Fayemi.
The greatest Nigerian student, evergreen Nigerian youth, the greatest Gobo, greatest Baba, greatest Shawon, I am really very delighted to be here. My overview ought to have preceded the keynote address by our leader, the presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, retired GCFR. But I think it's good that you've listened to him first before any of us are coming to talk to you. This is not the first in our series of youth engagements around the country. In fact, I believe it's the third. We've been to Enugu for the Southeast Youth Engagement. We've been to Uyo in Akwa Ibom for the South-South Youth Engagement. We're here in Lagos for the Southwest Youth Engagement. And we'll still be in Sokoto for the Northwest and in the Northeast and North Central. I'm not going to bore you with issues that I know you are daily engaged with. I am on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I read you. I read about your concerns, I know the issues you are raising, about what you expect our government, when we come in, inshallah, to do for you on education, on jobs, on jobs, on jobs. And I can tell you that that is the #1 priority of this government. From day one, I'm sure General Muhammadu Buhari would have said that in the course of his presentation. That is the task the party has given to those of us responsible for policy development for this government, that in every program that the general talks about, the first question we must ask ourselves is, how many jobs are going to be produced? If we're talking a meal per day for our primary school children, how many jobs are going to come out of it? For the women, for the artisans, for the men, for young school leavers, and so on and so forth. So every single thing that you hear General Buhari talks about, it is the job component that drives what we will do. And for those of you who have not had the privilege to see our manifesto, before you leave here, we will distribute to you a summary of it. My covenant with Nigerians by General Muhammadu Buhari. You will receive a copy of the covenant, which summarizes what this government will do when we come to office. Now, I want you to remember one quote, and it's an evergreen quote. It's better than the quotes that you take from John F. Kennedy, Frank Delano Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and all that. And everybody in my own generation remembers this quote because we were in the university, just as Governor of Rivers State mentioned, when General Buhari came in. And in his speech, his very first speech, he said this to us. this generation of Nigerians, and indeed future generations, have no country other than Nigeria. We shall remain here and salvage it together. I don't know if you remember that quote. Those of you who are from that generation and those who read history books, among those of you who are still in school today, it shows you the patriotic zeal of the leader that we have. Is a leader who is going to lead from the front. He's not going to sit in the cozy atmosphere of his residence and dictate to you what you should do. He would be there, even at 72, agile, physically strong, determined, compassionate, competent. More. Action. Answer. Okay. Hands on. I like that. I like that. And handsome. Oh, handsome. Oh, that I agree. I agree with that. Certainly, I shall not comment on the other side. But what is important, which we want you to know, and that's why this engagement is split into the zones. You are critical to the work this government is going to do when we come into office. And we're not going to take you for granted. But you have an additional job to do for this campaign. Not just by voting, but by also encouraging the elders in your community, your parents, your own uncles, your cousins. You must let them know that this is about you. It's not about General Buhari. General Buhari is actually offering himself, if you like, as a lamb to undertake a human's task. He's ready, he's committed, he's determined to do it. But the job is really for your own sake and for the sake of generations yet unborn. Because if we don't turn it around now, God help Nigeria. And I know you all want to help us turn it around so that your own future can be turned around positively too. I thank you for the engagement and I wish you well. March 28th, we're all going to march to victory by God's grace. Thank you. God bless you.